Imagiverse Studios presents Tales from the Horrorweb, an audio-only series based on the short stories by Gavin Pryor. Tonight's story is called Witch's Brew. A young woman discovers a potion in an abandoned shop, only to discover that it has a sinister secret. It was the night before Halloween. Stacy and Melanie were walking down the street, seeing the many Halloween decorations set up in stores, diners, movie theaters, and some of the houses they passed by. Stacy had recently bought her Halloween costume for the upcoming party being held at Robert's house. Although Melanie was already prepared with her costume, she couldn't tell Stacy just yet. As they kept on walking, Stacy noticed something out of the corner of her eye. It was a store in the middle of the woods. It was painted white with a gray roof. The paint faded as the store sat abandoned. No one ever went there for years. "Check it out," said Melanie. Stacy said, "It's been there before. My mom told me that this store opened in 1938. The man who owns the place sells candy. He sold many sweets to the many kids who came to their shop. Then, in 1959, under mysterious circumstances, the store was closed down." "Bankruptcy?" Melanie asked. "No," said Stacy. "He found a strange shipment from an old woman who came across his shop and wanted to sell something. Inside the shipping containers were bottles of soda. She told him that these would make a great beverage for Halloween." "Soda?" said Melanie. "What a strange way to shut down a shop." "My mom said it had something to do with it," said Stacy. "But she also said that people came up with stories that the soda had a strange recipe that turned anyone who drank it into monsters. Others claimed they disappeared upon drinking this." "I'm not sure which is which," said Melanie, "but that's a really frightening tale." "I've told my friends the same story too," Stacy said. "The moment we passed by this place, we came up with a lot of theories. One of them stated that the sugar might have given people a sugar rush. The others think it was really a potion. It's like a video I've watched on VidSplash." "They never mentioned anything or talked about it," said Melanie. They walked over to the shop's entrance. The doors were painted in red and white stripes, resembling candy canes. The windows were painted in yellow, orange, and red, the colors of fall. "You want to go in?" asked Melanie. "No," said Stacy. "I don't really think that's a good idea. Let's head over to my house." "It could be our chance to see what is inside," said Melanie. "I've never seen this place before." Stacy thought it over for a moment as a rush of curiosity rushed through her mind. What was it like inside the store? "Okay," said Stacy. "One look inside won't hurt us. I was wondering what it's like inside the store too. We might be finding some of the remaining bottles of soda inside," said Melanie. They said that she delivered them in cardboard boxes with no label. Stacy opened the door as they went inside. The walls had yellow and pink striped wallpaper. The shelves were stocked with uneaten candy. Some of them were either wrapped or unwrapped. A giant sculpture of a lollipop with worn-out paint stands at the center of the store, with boxes full of candy bars on the bottom. The cashier's desk had a rusted-out cash register and empty boxes. "I don't know about you," said Stacy, "but this is the first time I've ever been inside of this place." "It looks so vintage," said Melanie. "Maybe one day the store could reopen under new ownership." "Not likely," said Stacy. "Next thing you know, they are going to demolish the store to probably build a new park." "Nah," said Melanie. "I think people just didn't do anything about it." That explains why it's still there, said Stacy. After so many years, I keep passing by this place. Stacy took her phone out and turned on its flashlight. She looked everywhere for the storage room. She stopped to find 2 white doors. I think this might be the storage room, said Melanie. Could you open the doors? Stacy opened the doors and went inside. She found a bunch of cardboard boxes with labels. They were stacked on the metal shelves. I found it, said Stacy. Now where could that soda be? I have no idea, said Melanie. Maybe you should check inside. Do they usually keep the sodas in the fridge? Asked Stacy. Melanie said, maybe that makes sense. I'll find the cardboard boxes that contain the sodas I mentioned inside, said Stacy. She looked through every shelf to search for the cardboard boxes without labels. So far, she has only found them with labels. She kept searching and searching to see where the soda might be. After looking through a few shelves, she only found 3 cardboard boxes without labels. The treasure of the very abandoned candy store, said Stacy. I found them! Melanie ran over to the supply closet and met up with Stacy to see what she had found. Melanie was surprised that it could be what they were looking for. Quick, said Melanie. I need a box cutter. No problem, said Stacy. I bought this. Stacy reached into her pocket and bought out a switchblade. I got this one for Christmas, said Stacy. I normally use it for emergencies or if something I ordered arrives for me. That will do, said Melanie. Besides, I couldn't find the box-cutting knife anywhere, and I also have to get back to my house by around 10. I have to get ready for tomorrow. I'll be quick, said Stacy. Then we are getting out of here. Stacy used her switchblade to cut open the cardboard boxes. Inside each of them are soda bottles. They were still filled with soda, as if no one had ever opened them. Each of the liquids came in 5 different flavors. There's still some liquid inside of them, said Stacy. They took off their backpacks and opened them so they could grab as many sodas as they could fit inside of them. My backpack is starting to get full, said Stacy. Should we carry the boxes too? I don't know about it, said Melanie. But that might be a good idea. They grabbed the boxes of the remaining sodas and left the storage room. When they were about to leave through the entrance, they noticed outside the window that a car was parked near the store. I think those are the cops, said Stacy. Let's get out before they find out we're in here, said Melanie. As they were about to head back to the storage room to find the back door, the entrance doors opened. They looked to see that their friends, Lorraine and Robert, had come to the store, and they had the same plan as them. Well, look who beat us there, said Robert. Looks like we are not the only ones who are about to explore this place, said Lorraine. I've been dying to see what is inside. When did you plan all of this before us? Said Melanie. It was arranged during lunch. I've been seeing a bunch of other students talk about it in the school hallways. We're about to get this on social media, said Lorraine. That's not a bad idea at all, said Stacy. People should know about this store and its history. What's with those boxes? Said Lorraine. They heard sirens blaring in the distance. I will explain this when we get to my house, said Stacy. They got out of the store before they went inside Robert's car, packed the boxes into the trunk, and drove away. When they got to Stacy's house, they got out of the car and unpacked the boxes inside the trunk. They went inside the house and went into the living room. Stacy placed 3 boxes on the coffee table. I'm curious to see what's in these boxes, Robert said. My guess would be candy bars, said Lorraine. That might be perfect for a Halloween party if that's what you are stealing from this abandoned store. Actually, said Melanie, we've gotten some sodas from that store. They were still there, so we thought maybe we could steal those. Those are the sodas people have been talking about for years, said Stacy. Let's see it, said Lorraine. Melanie opened the boxes and bought out the soda bottles. Each of them had different flavors like cherry, orange, lemon lime, blue raspberry, and cream soda. They all have printed labels on them. There is a logo written in bold words that read, Witch's Brew. On top of the logo was a witch's hat with a purple ribbon and a golden belt buckle. Witch's Brew? Said Robert. Isn't that a Halloween-themed soda brand? Asked Lorraine. It could be, said Stacy. Besides, I have been hearing some silly names for sodas. They mix different flavors and give it a different name for some of them. If this is the soda we have been looking for, then it's worth searching for, said Melanie. Why don't we try this out? Asked Lorraine. Wait, said Melanie. What if we offer this to people during the Halloween party tomorrow? Really? Said Robert. How could we do that? Think about it, said Stacy. It will be like selling lemonade, except we're giving everyone this beverage for free when you attend someone's party. When the people show up, we will give them each a bottle, said Melanie. We will see what happens. I don't know, said Lorraine. What if the story was true? I'm going with this plan, said Robert. But if something truly goes wrong, then it's our funeral. Okay, said Lorraine. But just to let you know, I am not spending the rest of Halloween in a coffin. Okay, said Stacy. It looks like we've got it all planned out. I should get home right now, said Melanie. It's getting a bit late. I'll drive you home, said Robert. Lorraine and Melanie rode in Robert's car to get back to their homes. Stacy grabbed one bottle of Witch's Brew from the box and went upstairs to her room. She sat down at her desk and opened her laptop to listen to music on TuneSpace while she did her research. She looked up the Witch's Brew incident on Boost Search. There was only one article about it online. As she reads through the page, she opens the bottle with a bottle cap opener. Although the WikiPlace page has come up with a lot of theories about this soda, several news articles were linked to the references page. Each of them explained many different stories, but they were not sure if they could prove them correctly. Stacy looked at the label to see what flavor she got. It was cream soda flavored. Stacy looked in the mirror and put the bottle in front of it. Here's looking at you, friend, said Stacy. She brought the bottle to her lips and took a sip of the soda. It had a sweet and fizzy taste, which reminded her of the time she went to the gas station store with her friends and bought some sodas. Not as bad as I thought it would be, said Stacy. She kept on doing some research as she sipped her soda occasionally. When she was done with the soda, she threw the bottle away in the trash bin near her desk. The next day, it was Halloween. Stacy got up from her bed and walked to the kitchen to fix up some breakfast. When she was finished, she walked back to her room to get herself ready for the day. When she looked in the mirror, she noticed something different about her eyes. They were slowly changing color. Stacy didn't know what was going on until she remembered the soda she drank. She quickly went to the trash can and got the soda bottle out. She placed it on her desk and looked at the ingredient list. It lists the usual ingredients to make the soda, but never anything else. How am I supposed to know what other ingredients are used to turn people into monsters? Said Stacy. Is that what is happening to me? I need to hide this right now before this gets even worse. She noticed a pair of sunglasses on her desk. She quickly grabbed them and put them on so no one would notice her eyes. She walked down to the nearest store to buy some snacks for Robert's Halloween party. When she was at the checkout, people were looking at her. Even the employees who worked at the store seemed to notice something about her. When it was her turn, the store clerk looked at her. "Are you okay?" asked the clerk. "Yes, I am just excited for the Halloween party." "That's great, but did you do something with your hair?" said the store clerk. Stacy didn't understand what he was talking about. "What do you mean?" asked Stacy. "One of your hair strands have turned white," said the store clerk. "You look like the Bride of Frankenstein." She got out her phone and opened the camera app to see what happened. One of her hair strands had mysteriously turned white. "It doesn't look too bad," said the store clerk. "I might have used hair dye or something," said Stacy. After she paid for the refreshments and decorations, she walked out of the store and walked back home to wear her Halloween costume. She wore a white, red, and blue puffer vest with a black t-shirt and a blue hat, black leather gloves, a portable cassette player with headphones attached, jeans, and black sneakers. She grabbed the refreshments, the boxes of witch's brew, and the decorations before she went on her way to Robert's house. When she got there, she knocked on the front door. Robert opened the door. "Just in time to help me set up for the night," said Robert. "Oh, and don't forget the chips and dip." "Don't worry, I didn't," said Stacy. "Lorraine and Melanie are already inside, helping with the decorations," said Robert. "Are you going to help them out?" "Yes, and I've brought in some more," said Stacy. "Thank you so much," said Robert. "Bring them over to them so they can set them up." They are outside in the backyard setting up the animatronics. Stacy went out to the backyard to meet up with Lorraine and Melanie. "Thanks for the decorations," said Lorraine. "We're nearly finished with them. Can you help set up the rubber bats on the roof?" "No problem," said Stacy. "I'll see if I can find the staple gun." She helped her friends decorate the house for the big night. They finished up a few hours later. The animatronics were set up on the lawn. The bats were hung on the rooftops. The lights were set up outside, and the rest of the party decorations were set. It was almost time for the party to begin. "So, Stacy," said Robert, "what are you supposed to be for Halloween?" "I've decided to attend this party in 1980s fashion," said Stacy. "I've gotten a werewolf mask to go with my costume," said Robert. "I just need to use the bathroom for a second," said Stacy. "I need to get my makeup all set." "Don't waste your time in there, or you might miss the party," said Robert. "I won't," said Stacy. Stacy ran up to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. She noticed that her skin had turned pale. "This can't be good. I was supposed to be an 80s zombie, but I never expected my Halloween to be like this," said Stacy. She took off her sunglasses to find out that her eyes had turned red. Stacy used her makeup kit to draw a few scars on her face to make herself look like a zombie. 2 minutes later, she got out of the bathroom to see so many people already arriving at Robert's house. She put her sunglasses back on and walked to the front door to let them in. A few minutes later, after the party began, the DJ blared music as people danced. Everyone drank witch's brew soda, and some were dancing. Stacy kept her cool while she was chatting, dancing, and even hanging out with her friends. Robert was just about to hit the punch bowl when he noticed something. Stacy had some veins showing up on her skin. "How did you get the possessed veins effect?" Robert asked. Stacy looked in the living room mirror to see that the veins had traveled up to her face. She looked closer and closer to the mirror to see what else was happening. She felt her teeth grow sharper. Lorraine walked over to her. "I didn't know you were dressed up as a 1980s zombie siren," said Lorraine. "That's the best costume I ever seen." "Just realized," Robert said. "I think this beverage might be turning her into a monster." "I drank the soda last night," said Stacy. I thought that the story was a joke. Well, it isn't anymore, said Robert. I think it's true. If anything, we should just let the party continue. Robert noticed a few people changing into the monsters they had become. They both had red eyes, pale skin, and veins showing on their faces. The same thing happened to Stacy before. They started attacking anyone who had not been drinking Rich's brew. Stacy ran out of the house. Stacy, where are you going? Robert followed Stacy to see where she was going. The monsters began to attack the DJ. They left him lying on the ground, dead from shock. They escaped the backyard and started to cause chaos around the town. They attacked anyone who got in their way. Many people had to flee to their homes, as well as a few trick-or-treaters. Lorraine and Melanie ran to Robert, who was standing in the middle of the street. Stacy was standing at the lamp pole, looking at them. You don't need to get involved in this, said Robert. I can find a way to reverse this effect. Stacy walked over to them and stopped 6 feet away. I don't want to hurt anybody, said Stacy. We can't leave you here and cause a panic, said Lorraine. It's just that we should come up with something eventually. Her friends turned into monsters and started to join the others. All Stacy could do was stand and watch the madness unfold. In 1938, the old woman who bought the sodas accidentally added something into them. She had been going from town to town, selling some of the sodas to some trick-or-treaters in grocery stores, candy stores, and gas station stores without knowing. It was something someone did as an experiment. This resulted in everyone turning into savage monsters. It is unknown where she is now, but some say that she lives in a quiet town in Nebraska. As for the unknown scientist, she vanished, never to be seen again.